Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I'm spiritual medium and psychotherapist and author Kellee White, and welcome to Ask Me Anything on June 26, 2025. Actually, I had to check the date. I'm like, what's the date today? So I have been so busy traveling, and I'm so delighted to be back in my home office now. But let me say hi to a few people, and I'll tell you everything that's been going on here. Hi, Dee Dee from Chicago. I think, yes, well, thank you for asking about James. I think he's doing really well. I think he's resting right now too, and writing his book, writing his autobiography, which is really important. Hi, Renee Rossiter. She says, beautiful evening wishes, Kellee and friends. Kellee, would you consider doing a show on healing with aromatherapy and flower essences? I'm grateful for your guidance. Yes, Renee, I actually saw that comment and made a note of it. And we will absolutely do a show on that. I think that's a brilliant idea. And it's really funny. Yesterday, I had a session. I was back in my home office yesterday, and I had a session with a woman, and I saw around her, and you wouldn't, some people, when you look at them, you think immediately you think fairies, like you go, oh, fairies for sure. But this woman, there was something about her that, although she didn't look the part of fairy energy, I said to her, I've got tons of fairies around you, which is not necessarily how I start off talking to somebody. And she said, oh, I love the fairies energy. I work with fairy flower essence. So, Renee, I definitely will be doing a show on that. So thank you for that. Hi, Carolyn East. Hi, honey. Hi to Rick and your family. Hi, Stacy. Yeah, we had a lot of storms. I've been gone, but we've had a lot of storms because their dogs were kept awake. Hi, Jean. She says, thank you for hosting a truly transformative healing event with Carrie and Dr. Shirley. I hope you all do it again. Much love, Jean. It was from the bottom of our heart. I have so much to say about that event. So thank you, honey, for participating and being with us. It was just great to see you in person. Hi, Glow, setting intentions for the new moon that we had. Great. Hi, Lisa Tonini. Hi, Ann Margaret. Ask me anything. Okay. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Rita, my love. How are you, Rita? Hi, Kim Ann. Happy hot as hell day. That's the truth, right? We have cool air conditioning and a very cold margarita. I'm with you, Kim. Hi, Doreen. Namaste. Hi, Linda from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Hi, Marge. Hi, Michelle Kavanaugh. How are you, honey? Hi, Ann Margaret. I was in California, and I am back on the farm with the cows, and it's fabulous. No, James is not sick. No, he's just taking a little bit of time, I think, to write. No, he's not. Hi, Gayla Mathis. It was great to see you too. And hi, Vivian. And hi, Fern. Oh my gosh. Let me just say this. Fern, I've been thinking about you all day, Fern. Fern is part of our team, and she designed these fabulous tumblers. And this one says, Earth is an easy school, said no soul ever, which is something I said a while back. But I love this tumbler so much. I have ice in it. And the people that attended our event got a tumbler or a coffee mug. And so if you are interested in these, also her father made these beautiful, and I put mine away, angel key ring, an angel key ring. Say that 3 times. And anyway, so if you get a chance maybe you can put those up for sale too, because they were phenomenal. And I just want to, talk a bit about, I'm going to go into the astrology, of course, but I really want to say that this weekend that we had in Los Angeles called Roots of Healing was transformational. I mean, the group that we had was loving and kind and supportive, and everybody just kind of melded with the energy. And we had such great breakthroughs with people and great transformation. So I come from a place of spiritual counseling of why are we here on earth? Let's move through the karma. Let's balance it out to move to the dharma reason of why we are here on earth ultimately is to give service to others. And but what holds us back are our wounds, our traumas, our stories that we replay, negative thinking, all of that. It holds us in this energy of this karma loop, actually. And it's interesting because there was a woman who was a guru who made a comment, and she said, when you come to Earth, you have thousands of lives. And I remember thinking, every time I've heard that comment, I go, no, thousands? I don't think so. However, what she said made sense. She said, because think how long it takes to make a little change. And it's true. So my role in the Roots of Healing is to help people have an awareness. It's always about changing the consciousness. And then Dr. Shirley Pellizzeri's work is really phenomenal. And she talks about somatic healing, trauma that's stored in the body. She does inner child work. She works with the shadow. And she wrote a book on attachment. So she's the whole picture psychologically. And then there's Carrie Gonia, and her work is really phenomenal. And she does family constellation therapy. So we work at the generational trauma. So was this a light and fluffy weekend? No, but we handled it with loving and care and wonderful food and lots of togetherness and healing through a lot of resources here. We had a lot of things came out with different people, a lot of maybe things that they had held in for their whole life. We had so many wonderful experiences. I'll just mention the quick one, but there was a woman that was in one of my groups, and I was giving her a reading about a baby that had passed. The baby came right through. In fact, interesting enough, the baby came through and somebody else that I was doing a reading for. And it was interesting how spirit opens a door here and it will lead me over here. So this one spirit opened a door with a baby, but that baby went right to the mother the baby had passed, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago or so. And the baby was about 5 or 6 months old. And the baby came in with a woman named Mary. And I didn't know these people. So a woman named Mary had passed. And when I was giving the reading to the woman that was with us, she said, oh gosh, she said, yes, I lost my baby at five months. And she said, and my mother-in-law was named Mary. It was her that brought the baby through. And so her husband was staying at the hotel, but none of us had seen the husband and didn't even know he was here, frankly. And he came to pick her up at the end of the day. And she said to the husband, I need to tell you what happened. And he was told what happened and about how his mother had come through. And I think he was flabbergasted and stunned. And you could see the poor guy trying to hold it together, and he just really just lost it. And it was really, really moving. He gave me a big hug, and God bless him. People go through a lot on Earth. So thank you for everybody that joined us. Michelle, who produced all of this for us, did an extraordinary job too. So thank you, Michelle. It was great. A lot of great healing. So we plan to do it again. We don't have an area yet where we're going to do it, and we don't have a date yet. So if you think in your town, let us know if there's a place, because we are actively going to be looking to do this in the next few months in person, because it was great to do it in person here. We just loved it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Vedic astrology headlines right now, and then I'm going to go into a little bit about meditation, and then I'll answer as many questions as I possibly can. So I wanted to talk about this energy because, interesting enough, we did a 3-day weekend retreat for transformation. And we are as you know, the world is pretty chaotic right now, and it's amping up. It's not amping back, it's amping forward. And so by next week, I'll do the astrology of July. And then I'm also going to do the astrology of July for one of the shows I do with James. I can't remember what day it is. I think it's the 17th of July. But on June 24th, so today's the 26th, but on June 24th, all the way to August 12th, Jupiter, which is now in Vedic astrology, it's in Gemini. And Jupiter is the largest planet. It helps with wisdom and spirituality and blessings on a lot of level. And it's in Jupiter right now, and it'll be in Jupiter till the about June 1st of 2026. So Jupiter or Gemini, I'm sorry, it's in Gemini. Gemini has a lot to do with, obviously, with communication. And Jupiter is also currently all the way until August 12th. So it started on June 24th, all the way to August 12th. Jupiter is in the nakshatra, which is nakshatra is the healing center. Is in the nakshatra called Ardra, and Ardra is ruled by the deity called Rudra, and Ardra is the energy of transformation. It means a lot of political upheaval. Ardra is ruled, the nakshatra Ardra is ruled by Rahu. And you've heard me say Rahu and Ketu. Rahu's the north node, and that's in Aquarius now. But it's associated with the deity called Rudra, and that deity rules storms. So are we going to have a lot of storms? Yes, you bet we are. Ardra is the intense, it's the nakshatra of intense energy, and it actually represents change, destruction, and transformation. So, and this, remember, this goes straight through to August 12th. So this powerful energy is going to be making a lot of transformation for people. Now, Jupiter in the nakshatra Ardra, this transit combines Jupiter's expansiveness and its philosophical nature with Ardra's transformative power. So what does that mean? It means that there will be a lot of emotional healing. And as I have been saying, this is a time of great awakening, great changing of consciousness, and this brings emotional healing. And you can expect a spiritual awakenings during this period. You can expect breakthroughs through this period. And you can imagine that there'll be a lot of emotional growth and healing during this period, till we get through to August. And for spiritual growth, that this transit inspires spiritual growth. And it makes you wonder to learn more, a deeper understanding of yourself. It will bring intellectual curiosity because of that Jupiter in Gemini, and individuals may be drawn to intellectual and spiritual pursuits. And also it will bring people to think, to understand life's mysteries. I mean, if you think about it, life is a mystery here, and it's fascinating to go in and to learn the depths of so many of these mysteries. And it also will bring an increased awareness, because Jupiter and Ardra can lead us into a better perspective, if you will, breaking through the illusions of life and bringing hidden truths to the surface. So it's a very, very powerful, powerful time. The challenges are that it brings emotional instability. It just does. And it might bring, so people might be irritable. They may be up and down, a lot of emotions, because it's a powerful energy, and it wants to make change. Okay. And it could bring some ethical dilemmas to people. So be very mindful of your business, because that could be something too. And at the same time, at this exact same time, that we also have the sun from June 22nd, again, today is June 26th, all the way to July 6th. So just did it for a little bit more, a little longer. The sun is also in Gemini in the nakshatra called Ardra. So that makes a lot of powerful energy of transformation and restorative transformation. So you may go through a lot of things, but you'll come out on the other end. So it's a very important time. And at the same time, I've been talking about this, but Mars and Ketu are conjunct, and they're very close to one another. And they're both in Leo. And it's a very powerful time because Mars is war and Ketu is a higher degree of that. And as the energy goes, it will get a little more close. They'll get closer and closer to one another. And we have an exact conjunction actually in July 20th. And I'll be talking about that next week in the July report. But the energy is getting more intense. So just wanted to talk about that. And how do we counteract that kind of energy? Well, that's why we're doing a show on meditation, frankly. I think that meditation, breath work, I think it's all going to be needed because I think we're all going to be tested in ways, you don't have to pay any attention to the news. You don't have to do anything, but you'll feel the energy, especially empaths out there. You'll feel the energy. And so I think that meditation is extremely important during this time. And people, have asked me how do you meditate and what is meditation and all of this. And meditation is simply a practice. That's all. It's a practice that involves training the mind. And it helps us if we train the mind to focus and then redirect our thoughts. So that leads us to a state of calm and clarity and mental well-being. So meditation is simply a tool that is used to help achieve a state of awareness and inner peace. And the benefits from meditation are, so from everything from stress reduction to improved focus. But why I think meditation is so important is if you think about it, we know the world is in chaos right now. So if there was ever a better time to learn meditation, I don't know it. I mean, this is it. This is the best time. But what I believe is important about meditation, and I talked about this over the weekend, is that meditation changes your brain waves. And so when our brain waves have been slowed down, it slows down the brain. It puts us in a beta state or a theta state. And when it slows our brain down, we make better choices. And when we make better choices, we become self-aware. Our self-awareness changes and our consciousness shifts. And we may make a better choice. And when we do that, we often do not create any more karma. So it kind of moves us off the karmic wheel, if you will. So meditation is I think it's one of the greatest tools that we have, frankly. And simple techniques. There are simple techniques actually for emotional and spiritual healing. And one of them, before we get into the meditation here, is mindfulness. And mindfulness is really just being present in the moment. And it's about grounding yourself in the current experience. So noticing, like literally stopping yourself. What are you noticing? Are you noticing your breath? Are you noticing what you are seeing? Because so many of us walk around unconscious. And so in that present moment, with mindfulness, we can appreciate where we are at that moment. And it's very calming. You can't be anxious if you're present in the moment. You can't be depressed if you're anxious, if you're in the present moment. You just are. So meditation is really important, and breath work is very important. And all of that helps to foster a deeper sense of self, which is so actually important. And of course, additionally, going out in nature is so important. Engaging in a creative hobby, anything that you're passionate about. Oh, please. Practicing forgiveness. That can also help to contribute to an emotional and spiritual well-being. But breath work encompasses a variety of techniques, and I can go into different ones, but I think that a real popular one, or one that I think is easy to remember, is box breathing. And I have talked about this many times, but it's really the simplest and most, common kind of form of yogic deep breathing. And if you just imagine a box, and the box has 4 sides to it. This technique has the 4 steps. So for box breathing, let's say you're really having a moment and you need to slow yourself down. Just remember this box breathing. Imagine a box, four sides, and it's 4 counts of breathing in, 4 counts of holding your breath, 4 counts of exhaling, and then 4 more counts of holding after you exhale. Yeah, there. Oh, Renee, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And please take a picture of that, because this is a really good way to change your chemistry of your brain at that moment. It's a wonderful thing. It can really calm the nervous system, and it helps us to bring us back into our bodies, away from any distractions that are going on in the world. So it's a really, really do this one. And it's really accessible. Anybody can do it. You might need a midday pickup if you're sitting at a desk. So it's just a really, really good one. So I thought what we'll do is just a real simple meditation right now. And then I'll answer as many questions as I can. But I thought if you could, like right now, find a comfortable position. You could sit or you could lie down, wherever, keep your spine relatively straight. Just get comfortable. And close your eyes if you feel comfortable to do that. Just close your eyes gently. And first, we're going to focus on your breath. So bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of the air as it enters and then leaves your body. And just get comfortable. Feel the rise and the fall of your chest, or the movement of your abdomen as you breathe. So just observe the natural rhythm of your breath without trying to change it. And if your mind wanders, just gently redirect your attention back to your breath. Just a gentle breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's start a body scan. So starting with your toes, bring your awareness to your toes at this time. Just kind of feel any sensations or warmth or coolness, tingling or pressure. And allow any tension you find to soften and release with each exhale. Take a breath in and exhale out. So move your awareness up through your legs. And again, bring your awareness to your legs. If you feel any warmth, any coolness, any tingling, or any pressure, allow that tension to soften and release. And move your awareness up to your torso. And notice any sensations you may feel, any warmth, or any coolness, any pressure, or any tingling. And allow any tension that you find to soften and release with each exhale. Now move your awareness to your arms, your shoulders, and notice any sensation you feel. If there's any tension, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Breathe out. And then move your awareness to your head, your neck, and your head. And see if there's any tension you're holding there. Take a deep breath in and release that. Now visualize a very peaceful place. Imagine yourself in a place that brings you a sense of calm and peace. For some of you, it may be a beach, it may be a forest, maybe a mountaintop, or any place that resonates with you. Keep breathing and engage your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? Do you have a smell there? What does it feel like in this place? Notice the colors and the sounds and the smells and the textures. And allow yourself to be fully present in this peaceful place. Cultivate feelings of calm. And as you remain in this peaceful place, allow yourself to feel the calm and the serenity washing over you. Notice any feelings of peace or tranquility or joy that arise. And let these feelings deepen and expand throughout your body. So return to the present and gently bring your awareness back to your body and to your surroundings. And know that you can take this energy with you throughout the day. At any time, you can tap into this energy. So take a few breaths. And when you're ready, and slowly open your eyes. And you can remember, I am calm and peaceful. I release all tension and stress. I am grounded and centered. I am filled with peace and joy. And that's something that you can do throughout the day at any time, just having awareness of this. It's a meditation that I think is needed now for these energies. And they're great tools. They're very effective to keep us in a calm place, no matter what, you know. So everybody can do this at any time. And also remember the box breathing. Now, if you find yourself in an anxious moment or a stressful moment, just remember the box breathing, if anything. Yes, Melissa, this is a time that we will need to set rules and boundaries and limitations. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because this is, it's a special time, that, we're all, again, we lined up on earth to be here for these. Evie says, thank you for your exercise today. I need to do more meditations during these stressful times. I think everybody does, Evie. And what happens is we all get so wound up and stressed out of our gourd, and we run from place to place. And when we do that, remember, we call our class Roots of Healing, the Foundations of Life. or it's about when we come to Earth, there are going to be the game of life, not the foundations, the game of life. The game of life, it is a game here on Earth. It's a heck of a game. But we did all plan for it. And the greatest tools are right at your doorstep. They don't cost you anything. It's your breath. You calm your breath. Keep your breath. And remember, stay aware. And if you're in a present moment with awareness, you can't be anxious. You can't be depressed. You're right in that special moment. It's when we futurize or look in the past that causes some issues. But if we're in the present moment, we really can't. And Kim Ann says, since this is a time of change and manifestation, is there a special meditation we should do? It's a great question, Kim Ann. Yes, I would say definitely. First, let's get to a place of peace and calm. And when we are in a place of peace and calm, we think clearer, so it's much easier to start manifesting. It's easier to think of the things that would be good for us and how to get there. So Amber Lily says, can I recommend any specific guided meditations for grounding? Yes, Amber, I would say take your shoes off and go outside instead, or look out at anything that you can look at that's green or beautiful water or anything in nature. And that is the best thing for grounding. And you can say simply, I am loved, I am joy, happy am I, holy am I, healthy am I. And Rita, you reminded me of that James always says that, and it's true. Happy am I, healthy am I, holy am I. I'll get it. And that's a wonderful reference to if you're outside and you're looking at nature and remembering it. And if you have an animal nearby, even better. That's even better. Carla Bell. Hi, Carla, my friend. She says, I sometimes hear you saying that we signed up for this when life is really crazy. And I have to laugh and think, what was I thinking? Oh, right on, Carla. We all think, what in the world was I thinking? Again, it's the game of life. It was a book written 100 years ago by Florence Campbell, 100 years ago, called The Game of Life. And if you don't have it, you should get it. It's a little paperback. And with her, it was about the positive, like life is going to give us all kinds of things to work through. And it's about positive thinking, keeping your energy positive, keeping your mind, keeping your thoughts positive. Positive thinking and positive thoughts can get us through anything. It's when we slip down to a negative place, if we slip down to the negative, it takes a while to pull that energy back up. And every day is going to bring all kinds of things. And the masters say, have joy in it all. There's good, bad, and different. Have no expectations of the day. Just go out and have joy. It's amazing, and it really does work. Independent 87 says, I remember when I was a kid, my mother used to tell us to go outside and play in our backyard without our socks and shoes. Your mother was way ahead of her time, and in those days, that was exactly right. Actually, and it's really what we should do now. I always tell my grandchildren that take your shoes and socks off, go outside, run in the grass, because you need that extra energy to drain out of the body. And earthing, if you've ever been to earthing.com, we had Clint, I'm forgetting his last name. He was Clint Ober, I think, Renee, I think it's Clint Ober. He was a wonderful, wonderful earther, or earthing, there's a difference there, earthing.com. And I'm sitting on one of his pads right now, and I've got my feet on the other one. And at earthing, he talked about, going around barefoot all the time, because when you keep that electric energy or the energy in the system, it leads to inflammation, which leads to all kinds of illnesses. So the best thing you can do is to decharge, get your energy out like that. So, Denise Silva, I'm going to remember this when I'm at the Cancer Center. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful, Denise. Thank you for saying that. I've noticed many people with cancer now. And Clint Ober, thank you, came in. And in fact, a lot of my friends have cancer right now. And it's inflammation in the system, right? It's a lot of things. But remember, when you're in getting any kind of treatment, bring in the breath, bring in the positive energy, bring in the positive light, and look at it as a new chapter, an awakening chapter. And what I did talk about over the weekend is peeling an onion, because all of us are peeling onions at all times. I remember when I was a chef, they would bring me 100-pound bags of onions to peel on. Believe me, that was no fun. And peeling our belief systems off is also not so much fun either. Except when you get to the other side of that, you go, whew, wow, that was really something. I just learned something new. And I just took out this, wound, this interjective of pain that was on me. And so I think that's really important. Caroline East said, my mom said to go outside but wear shoes because we always seem to step on a bee. This is Rick, not Carrie. Oh, Rick, that's so funny. Right? Well, I could understand that then. I can understand that. I don't want to get any of that down. But walk outside if you can. Look for bees. Actually, it's the first thing I do is I look for dog poop and bees. Seriously. And living on a farm. And Independent 87 says hugging a tree that's one of my favorite things to do now. Again, I'm on a farm now, but you don't have to be on a farm to hug a tree. I love the energy of these trees. We have new trees that we've planted. We've got a lot of trees on our land, but we planted some new trees, and one of the trees was a cherry tree, and it's still very little. But I always talk to it. I talk to all my trees. I've turned into a tree talking person. Never was before, but now I'm a tree talker. And but this little tree it gave me so many cherries. It was amazing. It's like the first time it's bloomed. It's so little. And, it's just, I love that. And yeah, flip-flops are $27. They are copper-based, walking around your yard. Oh, really? I didn't know that, Emma. I'm going to have to look at that. Yes, Amberly, watching birds is absolutely a form of meditation. And that's one of my favorite things to do. Anything that slows us down from this karmic wheel and from this intense energy. So as this energy builds itself up, you need to build yourself up with lots of loving tools, because you all did sign up to be here during this intense time of transformation. A lot of onions will be peeled. What the goal is to peel the inside of an onion is nothing. And that's where we want to get to. Okay. It's like peeling, and we might be peeling off layers from previous lives and this life and all kinds of things. So you want to stay in the calm, present moment. Okay. Anna Marie Ochoa says, I was hugging a tree once, a redwood tree, which I love those redwood trees. And I was thinking how nice it was. I suddenly realized that ants were crawling all over me. Anna, I do a double take before I hug a tree. I understand that. Laura Crum, hi, Laura. She says, when we were young, my mom would never let us keep our shoes on, could never get us to keep our shoes on. Oh, that's great, Laura. See, that's a great thing. That's really good to know. And Carla says, birds and butterflies, they are my go-to watching. Me too, Carla. And I think, Carla, you and I are both in that same part of Wisconsin, not too far from one another. And I've been watching a lot of butterflies lately. That just makes me so happy. And cardinals come and they hang out, which is the best. I've been seeing a lot of robins. I mean, more robins than normal, I think. So Lori Sherbrooke says, a great way if the weather is bad or if it gets too cold, like it does here in North Dakota. She says, I use a grounding mat from the company Grounding Well. Oh, I don't know that company. And I also sleep with their grounding sheets. So I do too. I have the grounding mat and the grounding sheets, and I love them. If anyone's interested, let me know. I have a discount code as an affiliate, but I love it as a licensed massage therapist and energy healer. I use it every day and I sleep on my sheets every night. They're fantastic. So everybody can, contact Lori Delaneva Sherbrooke, because she will sounds like she's got a code for all of that, which I think is wonderful. Oh my gosh. And also, I just want to mention, if you are looking for a wonderful therapist on the East Coast, on the East Coast, we have a Betty Elizabeth Scott is a wonderful therapist, and she does past life regression. She's really extraordinary. So if you would like to get in touch with her, Elizabeth Scott, you can reach her through Psychology Today. I know that, and find her on the East Coast. And she is terrific, wonderful therapist. So Patrick Horan, hi Patrick. He says, Kellee, the meditation was great, and I so needed it this week. Mark and I have been experiencing a crazy week where everything that could go wrong did. I get it. I totally get it. But we kept our cool. Just wondering what the stars say about all this chaos. Is there something going on in the planets? Oh, yes, Patrick. There's a lot going on. A lot going on. And that's what I was talking about with Jupiter in the special nakshatra, also with Mars and Ketu. And we have 3 planets that are going to be headed retrograde, backwards, real soon. Neptune retrogrades on July 4th. Happy 4th of July. And Saturn retrogrades July 13th. And there's another retrograde too, right after that. I forget which one. Oh, Mercury. How could I forget? Mercury retrograde on July 18th. So, you know what I'm going to be saying. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking about July. July is really going to be one of those heated up months, truly heated up months. But I'll talk about that next week. But I think the energy this week, Patrick, was so intense. You know, I'll tell you, I was flying to Burbank, and I was so grateful on my trip out because I flew through Denver. Everything was good. And I traditionally have not had the best luck of flying in the last years, 2 years, 3 years. And anyway, and I thought, oh, this is so great. I finally get to Burbank and I'm on the plane. I can't wait to get out. And it's been a long travel day. It's an all-day affair to go anywhere from Madison, Wisconsin. And anyway, I finally, the plane gets real close and we're about ready. The plane's just about to stop because we're right there. The plane is stopped. And there apparently was an unruly passenger in the plane in front of us. An unruly passenger. Imagine that. And do you know we had to sit on that plane nearly 2 hours before we could get off? Literally, we were 20 feet from getting off. And I was like, well, Kellee, here we go. So I don't know. This world it's a strange world here. Christine Salisbury says, I have a big rock garden. Big rock in my garden that's surrounded by green ferns and under a tree. How fabulous is that? Well, you know what I did? My grandchildren are going to be visiting me in August, and I'm so excited. And I bought some of these pens, these acrylic pens to do rock painting. And that's like such a meditative, earthing thing to do. So I'm excited about it. I think I'm going to be more excited about it than everything. And then Independent says, my mother used to say, go outside and get some fresh air and sunshine. That's the number one thing. If you can do that, do it. I've been doing that every day. And Don will tell you, since I got home, he'll say, it's hot outside. I'm like, no, I just want to be outside. I just love that energy of looking at the green farm and all the greenery. Somebody asked me, maybe a few people asked me before I do an event like that, they asked all 3 of us, how do you get your energy up? And I drink a lot of green drinks. I surround myself with green, interesting enough. And one of the ways I do that is if I'm going to do an event, I'll go to a supermarket. I love farmers markets, but if there's not a farmers market event around, I will actually go into a supermarket and just kind of stand in front of the produce. That for me does it. It just lifts me right up. Now, some people stand in a bunch of flowers. That would do it too. In my case, it happens to be produce. So, but whatever works for you. If these are just some tricks that I have learned along the way here, because I think they're all important things to do, especially when we're trying to help our energy throughout this period. So, let's see. Anne Margaret says, Kellee, are you seeing a ton of robins this summer? Yes, I am. Any meaning to that? I know that there is, but I will look that up because I haven't paid any attention to that. I see so many of them. And yeah, we had a lot of chipmunks, I bet. Lisa Block. Oh, Lisa, thank you. She says, thank you, Carrie, and to me, and to Dr. Shirley, and to Michelle for an amazing weekend of revelation and healing. Lisa, my king of spades there. My king of spades that can do anything. King of spades can move mountains. Lisa, you were a champ, and I was so grateful that you were there. And Jean, thank you for being there from the bottom of my heart. And Dwayne and Elaine, if you're listening, oh my gosh, we all learned so much from you guys, and everybody shared. And that was the most, when groups come together like that with great intention is everything. I have chills when I think about it. It brings the peace. I always imagine this is what heaven feels like. It's a peaceful, it's a peace that comes. So I just think it was just wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, Lisa Kupka. Hi, Lisa. And your birthday is October 4th, which makes you a 5 of diamonds. October 4th. October 4th. I'm sorry, makes you a 5 of diamonds. That's correct. A little slow on the upkeep today. And a 5 of diamonds is about self-worth and always has the angels about them. She said, but if a soul chooses to reincarnate, are you no longer able to communicate with them in the afterlife? No. First of all, no. It doesn't work that way. What I mean to say is, yes, you can still communicate with them in the afterlife. So when I said no, what I meant is, if a soul decides to reincarnate. Now, I don't believe in that there's an instant reincarnation or any of that. It's not my experience of it. My experiences of reincarnation is it takes a while to work through the things that you want to do and to set things up with the soul group that you're in. So I don't see, like, my mom would wait for me. My grandfather told me he was preparing to come, but he'd be like 140 now or something. So it would make sense that it would be, I don't know, he'd be old. But I made sense that he was coming back. But I don't think, I think they wait for us. But regardless, only about 30% of our big souls incarnate into the body here. And so a lot of our higher self is already on the other side. So yes, you'd still be able to communicate with them in the afterlife. I hope that's not too long-winded of a conversation to have, but it's a good question. So hi, Mrs. Karen Smith. Can you give a sneak peek for July 4th retrograde? I'll be traveling in. Yes, I will. Traveling in and in London that day. Yes, Mrs. Smith, I am happy to tell you. I want you to pack your patience, all right? Because Neptune retrograde, it stays, when planets retrograde, they don't move for a period of time. I mean, they move, but not a lot. And so when there's a stillness in the planet, that's where things really start to shake and change. So having said that, on the day that a planet retrogrades, so the 4th and the 5th, really with that, will probably be somewhat intense. And yes, it's in the United States, it's the 4th of July. So pack your patience, put in the box breathing, have no expectations. Don't plan your schedule too tightly. So I hope that helps. I think it will be a big day. Neptune retrograde. Neptune has to do with water, and also it has to do with oil and gas, and it has to do with explosions, and it has to do with earthquakes, and it has to do with tsunamis. So that's the kind of weather with Neptune retrograde that we can expect coming up. And I believe Neptune is retrograde for months. I think it's 4 or 5 months. I'll have to check. But we'll talk about that. So everybody needs to pack their patience for sure. Okay, so Charlene Miller says, and Margaret, I saw my NP last week, and she said there's a lot of chatter at the office. There's a concern about their jobs. I feel so horrible. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Charlene, about all of this. This is going to be a kind of a confusing time, I think, for a lot of things. For a lot of, politically, certainly, it'll be very confusing and intense. So here we go. And Lori Sherbert, she put a discount company if anybody would like to look into that. Amber Lily, I love standing in my garden. Lori Letterby says, I've just raised a garden and I love going out and messing around. It's so grounding. Me too. I have a garden now and I love it. I love it. Green is healing, Annie Abbott. Yes, it is. And that happens to be my thing. It just is. So I think that's a wonderful. And Rita sees doves around here. And Margaret says, the biggest detox for me is going to the beach. So true. And Margaret, that's mine too. That's my biggest. Since I'm not at the beach, that is my bit. Oh, but you know what? I did go to the beach when I was in LA. I forgot. I went with my girlfriend, Lori. Shout out to you, Lori. And we went to Seal Beach and we had the best time ever. Lying on a cotton towel. That is absolutely for me too, Anne Margaret. It's the same thing. Yeah, I feel the same way, listening to the sounds of the ocean, and that's so good. Susan says, thanks, Kellee, for all your positive, loving energy. Oh, you're so welcome. This can be a sad time. It can be a chaotic time. But it can also be, the time of our lives, really, because this is the moment that we have. So, well, Michelle Nelson, don't worry. We're going to do this in another area. We just don't know yet where we're going to be. Kellee Levy, her birthday is 3/14, March 14. And it's a 9 of diamonds. It's so funny. Somebody asked me today about a 9 of diamonds. 9 of diamonds is about the giver. We call it the giver. And it's to give and to give and to give and to give. So setting boundaries would be important. And I thought it'd be kind of fun today. I've got 2 new card decks and we have a couple of minutes and I thought it would be really fun. When I was with Michelle in Portland and we were at this fabulous bookstore, I found these two card decks. The first one is called Angel Number Oracle, which by the Pope Girls. So I thought we'll pull one out for everybody. How's that? This card will be for everybody. And I love these cards. I'm having the best time with these cards. The Pope Girls. Pope Girls, I don't know who you are, but you did a great job with these cards. So I'm just gonna give a card for everybody. This will be for everybody for tonight and for this week. How's that? Till this week, because this is a big week here. All right, let me go. I'll pull this one out. Interesting. This one is 2134. 2134, which means achievement. 2134. So let's look what that means. Achievement. 2134. I have no idea. 2134. Got to give that one. Has anybody ever seen that number, 2134? I have never seen that number before, but 213 fate. It says, right now to everybody, appreciate all your efforts. Appreciate all your efforts thus far. You pour your entire self into your passions, and it's commendable. Still, sometimes you need to remember to give yourself a pat on the back. This is a sign that all the work you put in will reap amazing rewards and bring a lovely sense of fulfillment. Just remember to practice gratitude and celebrate your talents along the way. Very good. So if anybody out there sees 2134, let us know. So that's a great one. And then everybody, as that wasn't enough for me, I got a crystal deck. I love this crystal deck. And it's called the Stone Deck. Crystal's the Stone Deck. So let's pick a card, see what crystal is guiding us. Oh, I have to show you something. Before I even pick that, I have to show you something. So after the event, we all went to Shauna's Crystal Shrine in Burbank. And if anybody's looking for a crystal, she's got fabulous crystals and you can FaceTime her and she'll walk around and she knows everything about crystals. It's a great shop. But she gave me this fabulous, it's a pink amethyst. I didn't ever even heard of pink amethyst. It's just, I'm so in love with this crystal. So thank you, Shauna. I love this crystal. I'm just in love with this crystal. Just love it. Anyway, almost can't put it down. I love it so much. But anyway, let's get a card of crystals here. And this is a great deck too. So I'm just gonna pull out a card here and see what this one is. Yikes, here we go. Whoops. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. This was the first card that actually fell out. And this card is, isn't that pretty? Aquamarine, which is probably my favorite. That's one of my favorites. Aquamarine is a fancy type of blue beryl, and it's a powerful coolant for the head and the heart. Who needs it? Those that run hot. So if you run hot, or if you have a fire sign, anybody hanging onto an unspoken burning desire, where to put it? Wherever you need to turn that whisper into a primal scream, or if that's a little over dramatic, wherever you want to speak clearly and calmly from the heart. And when to use it, when you've lost your voice, when it's past time to let it go, or when you're feeling a little too, I don't know, polite for company. Ice yourself down with Aquamarine's cold shower vibes. Keep your cool. So maybe if you're going to travel, you need to keep your cool. A little piece of aquamarine would do it. I travel with clear quartz, actually, with a little piece. And I know some people carry all kinds of different things, whatever works for you. And your birthday, Wendy, is October 6th, and October 6th is a 3 of diamonds. How did I forget that? Traveling, I think that's how. 3 of diamonds is really one of the hardest cards in the deck, actually. And it's about bringing spiritual awareness to this lifetime. It's a very powerful time. And Lori Marie says, we are all connected. Part of our soul incarnates while our soul guides us. Absolutely, Lori, I believe that as well. So everybody, now Monday, James and I are going to be doing a show on Are You Psychic? And we're going to be talking, he'll be back Monday, and we're going to be talking about signs to look for being psychic. Are you psychic? And he's going to give you some exercises to do, and we're really excited about that. And again, anybody, if you're traveling during, the next couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, like a lot of people, most people, just pack your patience, bring a good crystal, bring a good book, read Cracked Open. It's very good. And it'll be a good thing to read. Anyway, Anne Margaret says, Don is a lucky man. He lives with someone who grounds herself all day. Well, Anne Margaret, the secret is Don is my grounding rod. He is my grounding rock. Truly is. But it's very good. Anyway, everybody, I hope everybody has a great week. Oh, Renee, you're right. Wind chimes. Wind chimes are great. And thank you, Lori, for those fabulous angel chimes. They were just spectacular. Thank you so much. I love that. So anyway, everybody, have a good week. Have a peaceful week, no matter in the energy field. Always keep your energy positive, upbeat, and calm. All right. Much love to everybody out there. And I will see you next. I'll see you Monday talking about psychic ability. And next Thursday, we will really go into the heart of July. All right. Take care, my friends. Bye.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.